the Met Office is the United Kingdom's national weather service. It is an executive agency and trading fund of the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills and a member of the Public Data Group. The chief executive is Rob Varley and the chief scientist is Dame Julia Slingo. The Met Office makes meteorological predictions across all timescales from weather forecasts to climate change. The Hadley Centre for Climate Prediction and Research and the National Meteorological Library and Archive are part of the Met Office. At the Met Office headquarters at Exeter in Devon is the Met Office College, which handles the training for internal personnel and forecasters from around the world. History: the Met Office was established in 1854 as a small department within the Board of Trade under Vice Admiral Robert Fitzroy as a service to mariners. The loss of the passenger vessel, the Royal Charter, and 459 lives off the coast of Anglesey in a violent storm in October 1859 led to the first gale warning service. In 1861 Fitzroy had established a network of 15 coastal stations from which visual gale warnings could be provided for ships at sea. The development of the electric telegraph in the 1870s led to the more rapid dissemination of warnings and also led to the development of an observational network which could then be used to provide synoptic analysis. In 1861, the Met Office started providing weather forecasts to newspapers. Publication of forecasts ceased in May 1866 and recommenced in April 1879. Connection with the Ministry of Defence. Following the First World War, the Met Office became part of the Air Ministry in 1919, the weather observed from the top of a Dastrel house giving rise to the phrase "the weather on the Air Ministry roof." As a result of the need for weather information for aviation, the Met Office located many of its observation and data collection points on RAF airfields, and this accounts for the large number of military airfields mentioned in weather reports even today. In 1936 the Met Office split with services to the Royal Navy being provided by its own forecasting services. It became an executive agency of the Ministry of Defence in April 1990, a quasi-governmental role, being required to act commercially. Following a machinery of government change, the Met Office became part of the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills on July 18, 2011. A branch of the Met Office known as the Mobile Met Unit accompany forward units in times of conflict advising the armed forces of the conditions for battle, particularly the RAF. Locations: in September 2003 the Met Office moved its headquarters to a purpose-built £80 million structure near Exeter Airport and the A30, in Devon, being officially opened on June 21, 2004 a few weeks short of its 150th anniversary by Robert May, Baron May of Oxford, from its previous location of Bracknell in Berkshire. It has a worldwide presence including a forecasting centre in Aberdeen, and offices in Gibraltar and on the Falklands. Other outposts lodge in establishments such as the Joint Centre for Mesoscale Meteorology at University of Reading in Berkshire, the Joint Centre for Hydrometeorological Research site at Wallingford in Oxfordshire, and there is a Met Office presence at Army and Air Force bases within the UK and abroad. Royal Navy weather forecasts are generally provided by naval officers, not Met Office personnel. Forecasts Shipping forecast The shipping forecast is produced by the Met Office and broadcast on BBC Radio 4, for those traversing the seas around the British Isles. Weather forecasting and warnings The Met Office issues severe weather warnings for the United Kingdom through the National Severe Weather Warning Service. These warn of weather events that may affect transport infrastructure and endanger people's lives. In March 2008, the system was improved and a new stage of warning was introduced, the advisory. Weather prediction models The main role of the Met Office is to produce forecast models by gathering information from weather satellites in space and observations on Earth, then processing it using two IBM supercomputers with a variety of models, based on a software package known as the Unified Model. The principal weather products for UK customers are 36-hour forecasts from the operational 1.5 km resolution UKV model covering the UK and surroundings, 48-hour forecasts from the 12 km resolution NAE model covering Europe and the North Atlantic, and 144-hour forecasts from the 25 km resolution global model. The Met Office's global model forecast has consistently been in the top 3 for global weather forecast performance in independent verification to WMO standards. Products for other regions of the globe are sold to customers abroad, provided for MOD operations abroad or provided free to developing countries in Africa. If necessary, forecasters may make adjustments to the computer forecasts. Data is stored in the Met Office's own PP format. Flood Forecasting Centre Formed in 2009, the Flood Forecasting Centre is a joint venture between the Environment Agency and the Met Office to provide flood risk guidance for England and Wales. The centre is jointly staffed from both parent organisations and is based in the Operations Centre at the Met Office headquarters in Exeter. In Scotland, this role is performed by the Scottish Flood Forecasting Service, a joint venture between the Scottish Environment Protection Agency and the Met Office. Seasonal forecasts The Met Office makes seasonal forecasts and distributes them to customers and users globally. The Met Office was the first climate and weather forecast provider to be recognized as a global producing center of long-range forecasts by the World Meteorological Organization and continues to provide forecasts to the WMO for dissemination to other national meteorological services worldwide. Met Office research has broken new ground in seasonal forecasting for the extratropics and has demonstrated its abilities in its seasonal predictions of the North Atlantic Oscillation and winter climate for Europe and North America. Current long-range forecast information can be found on the Met Office website. Supply of forecasts for broadcasting companies in particular, 2 of the main media companies, the BBC and ITV, produce forecasts using the Met Office's data. At the BBC Weather Centre, they are continuously updated on the information arriving by computer, or by fax and email. The BBC's new graphics are used on all of their television weather broadcasts, but ITV Weather use animated weather symbols. The forecasters at the BBC Weather Centre are employed by the Met Office, not the BBC. On August 23, 2015, it was announced that the BBC would be replacing the Met Office with a competing provider, as part of the corporation's legal obligation to provide best value for money for the license fee payers. World Area Forecast Centre The Met Office is one of only 2 World Area Forecast Centres or WAFCs, and is referred to as WAFC London. The other WAFC is located in Kansas, USA and known as WAFC Washington. WAFC data is used daily to safely and economically route aircraft, particularly on long-haul journeys. The data provides details of wind speed and direction, air temperature, cloud type and tops, and other features. Volcanic Ash Advisory Centre As part of its aviation forecast operation, the Met Office operates the London Volcanic Ash Advisory Centre. This provides forecasts to the aviation industry of volcanic ash clouds that could enter aircraft flight paths and impact aviation safety. The London VAAC, one of 9 worldwide, is responsible for the area covering the British Isles, the Northeast Atlantic and Iceland. The VAAC was set up by the International Civil Aviation Organization, an agency of the United Nations, as part of the International Airways Volcano Watch. The London VAAC makes use of satellite images, plus seismic, radar and visual observation data from Iceland, the location of all of the active volcanoes in its area of responsibility. The name dispersion model developed by the Met Office is used to forecast the movement of the ash clouds 6, 12 and 18 hours from the time of the alert at different flight levels. Air quality The Met Office issues air quality forecasts made using NAME, the Met Office's medium to long-range atmospheric dispersion model. It was developed as a nuclear accident model following the Chernobyl accident in 1986, but has since evolved into an all-purpose dispersion model capable of predicting the transport, transformation and deposition of a wide class of airborne materials. NAME is used operationally by the Met Office as an emergency response model as well as for routine air quality forecasting. Aerosol dispersion is calculated using the UKCA model. The forecasters produced for pollutants and their typical health effects are shown in the following table. IPCC . Until 2001 the Met Office hosted the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Working Group, chaired by John Horton, on climate science. In 2001 the working group moved to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. High performance computing . Due to the large amount of computation needed for numerical weather prediction and the unified model, the Met Office has had some of the most powerful supercomputers in the world. In November 1997 the Met Office supercomputer was ranked third in the world. Customer service . In 2012 the Met Office Contact Centre was accepted onto the top 50 call centres for customer service programme. After a period of mystery shopping and analysis the Weather Desk was awarded top 50 status. Weather stations. Reports from weather stations can be automatic, semi-automatic, or manual. Some stations produce manual observations during business hours and revert to automatic observations outside these times. Many stations feature present weather sensors, CCTV, etc. There is also a network of upper-air stations, using radiosondes. Some stations have limited reporting times, while others report continuously, mainly RAF and Army Air Corps stations where a manned Met Office is provided for military operations. The standard is a once-hourly reporting schedule, but automatic stations can often be polled as required, while stations at airfields report twice hourly, with additional special reports as necessary to inform airfield authorities of changes to the weather that may affect aviation operations. Some stations report only climate data and these are usually recorded at 0900 and 2100 hours daily. Weather reports are often performed by observers not specifically employed by the Met Office, such as air traffic control staff, coast guards, university staff and so on. Meteorological Research Unit and the Facility for Airborne Atmospheric Measurements. Meteorological research was carried out at RAE Bedford with instruments being carried by barrage balloons until the RAE facility closed in the 1980s. The Met Office association with Cardington continues by maintaining a Meteorological Research Unit. This is responsible for conducting research into part of the atmosphere called the boundary layer by using a tethered balloon which is kept in a small portable hangar. FAAM =. The Facility for Airborne Atmospheric Measurements, part of the National Centre for Atmospheric Science, is based at Cranfield Airport. It is a collaboration with the Natural Environment Research Council. The FAAM was established as part of the National Centre for Atmospheric Science, itself part of NERC, to provide aircraft measurement for use by UK atmospheric research organisations on worldwide campaigns. The main equipment is a modified BAE 146 Type 301 aircraft, registration G Lux, owned and operated by BAE Systems on behalf of Direct Flight Limited. Areas of application include radiative transfer studies in clear and cloudy air, tropospheric chemistry measurements, cloud physics and dynamic studies, dynamics of mesoscale weather systems, boundary layer and turbulence studies, remote sensing, verification of ground-based instruments, satellite ground truth, radiometric measurements and winds, satellite instrument test bed, campaigns in the UK and abroad. Directors General and Chief Executives, Sir William Napier Shaw 1905 €1920, Sir Graham Sutton 1954 €1965, Basil John Mason 1965 €1983, Sir John Horton 1983 €1991, Julian Hunt 1992 €1997, Peter E. Wines 1997 €2004, David Rogers 2004 €2005, Mark Hutchinson 2005 €2007, John Hurst 2007 to 2014, Rob Varley 2014. See also, Climatic Research Unit Hacking Incident, Climate of the United Kingdom, Climate Change in the United Kingdom, Burnsday Storm, Escdalemu Observatory European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasts, Great Storm of 1987, Meta Permel Irian, the Irish Meteorological Service, which separated from the UK Met Office in 1936. Northwest Shelf Operational Oceanographic System. References. Further reading, Hunt, Roger, The End of Weather Forecasting at Met Office London, Weather Magazine, Royal Meteorological Society, June 2007, v 62, No. 6, pages 143–146, Walker, Malcolm, History of the Meteorological Office, Cambridge University Press, ISBN 978-0-521-85985-1. External links, official website, BBC Weather Centre, BBC Shipping Forecast page, Met Office Archive, Joint Centre for Mesoscale Meteorology at the University of Reading, Joint Centre for Hydrometeorological Research, the Met Office on www.top500.org, Met Office on Twitter, Met Office News blog, Met Office's channel on YouTube.